I think people should come to Qingdao with open eyes and look at it's got a lot to offer. I've visited a lot of cities in China, and Qingdao, I always feel like I come back home. My name's John Hearn. I come from Sydney in Australia. I moved up here to live in about 2014. Qingdao's I've always found it a very easy city to live in. Qingdao's got everything you need. It's got the beaches, the ocean, the water, the seafood. It's just a very good place, and the people are super friendly. I've been sailing for nearly 60 years. A lot of boys are growing up. They like to play with cars, or they like to play with this, or I was playing with boats. So that's how it became my hobby, and then I got into sail making as a job. Sailing's an interesting sport because there's not many sports you can do. Like, I've done it from when I was 7 years old, and I'm still doing it now at 67. You can't play soccer for 60 years because your knees give out, your legs give out. We've got customers who are in their 80s and 90s and still sailing. It's a very healthy sport because a lot of the time, especially when you're racing, it's very physical. You do work a lot of your body and your muscles, and you're out in the fresh air all the time. There's a lot of good camaraderie you build up, you meet a lot of friends. We had a big business in sail making, doing exactly the same thing in Sydney. So we looked at trying to find a lower cost manufacturing base. China was the main one we looked at. But we sort of picked China for one, because just the sheer size of the population. One, we knew we could export product from here at a good price, but eventually there'll be a very good domestic market here. But at the time when I first came up to do what I call reconnaissance, to look at the viability of setting up the business, they were planning the Sailing Olympics in Qingdao, because Beijing had the Olympics, but the sailing disciplines were all done in Qingdao. So I came up, and we're both sailmakers. We make sails for sailing boats. So we've got a business here making those, which we export around the world, and we're known for our quality and performance of our products. It is growing. There are more boats coming, there are more people going sailing. When we first came to Qingdao, it was very easy for me to go sailing. Nowadays, the Chinese beat me easily every race. I think the standard of sailing in Qingdao has grown dramatically over the last few years, and I think the sailing clubs and the people running it have done a very good job of doing that and getting the standard up. And I think people now come over from overseas thinking, oh, we're going to go over there and win, and no, it's changed a lot. I'm getting closer to retirement age. I still like coming to China. Even if I did retire, I'd like to see it develop sailing more. I'd like to see, from a sailing point of view, that they put a lot more effort into grassroots sailing, getting the children to sail, give them opportunities to grow and keep them in the sport. My name is John Hearn. I am in China.